On this week's episode of Friend Code, we're going to be talking about Byleth joining Super Smash Bros. Ultimate and everyone's reaction to it. Hello, everyone. Welcome to a new episode of Friend Code. I'm your host, Michael Damiani. This week, I'm joined by Ian Hink.
Hi.
Michael Huber.
Hi.
How's it going?
It's pretty good, right?
Good, that was a good one, yeah. Hi.
Good highs. The collection of Pikachus here has expanded by one today.
Oh.
The newest one here in the front and center
That's
is
really
Pikachu being scared by, I believe, is a Diglett?
Diglett? I love
Yeah.
Diglett.
Popping out of some, sour cream and onion dip.
Tony Phil, little
Wait.
vibes right here.
Is Diglett the only other Pokemon cameo in all this?
What do you
there
mean?
any
There's-
other?
No, there's what's its face right here.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah,
thing.
and then
Okay.
there's
Got it.
Yeah,
Oh,
Tootsie's
okay.
right there.
So there's a few.
Yeah.
But not always.
So
Cool.
there's one more for this set, Huber, and then as I think I've told you, after the February one, which will probably be Valentine's Day themed,
Yeah.
they're gonna do a whole nother year of Day with Pikachu series. However, it's gonna expand to be a Day with Pikachu and Eevee.
Oh.
So it's gonna be the two of them together.
That's pretty dope.
doing stuff.
Together in every toy?
Yes,
Or
at the
buying
very
them
least, I
separately?
think it's gonna be them together. Is
Oh,
what I
okay.
understood.
You think you'll collect them, or you
I
just
don't
year
know.
one?
Damiani, we know you're going to collect them.
No, this was like specifically for the show.
Oh, okay.
So if someone wants to start doing that on their own and buying them and stuff, it's like, yeah, this is a little having to get up at a certain hour once a month for a random day. They never announced. This
Oh,
last
really?
one, people actually figured out the day, but in general, it's a random day of the week.
Wow,
and it's
funny.
usually very early in the morning our time. So it's kind of rough.
I always like completed sets. It's giving me Shenmue vibes.
Yeah.
Complete the capsule set.
Get that axe.
We're going to, hopefully we will complete it. And to allude to something that'll happen on a future episode, once the 12 are assembled here, I will have Kyle Bossman on, and Kyle Bossman will rank all 12 of these and explain why they ranked each of them the way they rank them.
That
Very
should be
funny.
very entertaining.
Oh, I hope it is. I think I'm also going to add, I'm going to have myself and whoever the other panelist is pick what we think Kyle's order will be
Oh, funny.
and see how correct we are. And maybe we'll
Make
rank
him
them
go out of the
ourselves.
room for that, though.
Yeah.
So he's not influenced.
We'll make a game. I'm going to actually, ahead of time, I'm going to have, like, on the cards, just have people write down.
Oh, okay.
The other panelists write down their stuff. But
It's got a hoodie on. So do you think it'll be his
so
most
I'm going to give
favorite or
some
least
insight.
favorite?
When Kyle saw that one, Kyle loved that
I knew
one.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was the one I
He
went
said
to
that's a
immediately.
good
Yeah.
design.
Also, it's called Rainy Day Pikachu, if I
Yeah.
recall.
Yes, it is.
So I like that one.
I'm gonna have a side bet.
It's a
and
little
say
bit
this
of
is his
pander
favorite.
right there.
Yeah, a little. I
A
do
little
like
bit of
the.
pandering.
I like the autumn leaves one though a lot.
I like this one a lot too.
Yeah.
The
And the
surfing one
Thanksgiving
for
one.
summer is surfing on a side duck board.
Funny. Or like an inflatable.
Yeah, it's a little weird to me. It was my favorite one, but all the other ones are pretty decent. Some of the spring ones are a little too samey, like eating like food and then like playing with the flowers, and then the 4th of July one with the sparklers is like kind of samey, but some good ones in here.
Nice.
Don't regret
Cool.
it. Fun stuff.
Very fun.
We're gonna talk about some Super Smash Brothers stuff in a little bit, but first, two headlines, some two quick news to go over, both involving court cases and Nintendo.
Nice.
The first one is
I feel like we need the
yeah,
Nintendo
dun dun
on trial.
Nintendo on
we need to opening
trial.
Law and Order right now
Yeah.
in the criminal justice system. Dum, bum, 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 bum. Okay, so the first one involves a ruling that happened back in 2017 involving the Wii remote. You might have heard about this one. Basically, a company had a patent that sued Nintendo saying you infringed upon our patent for like your Wii remote does. Court ruled in the other company's favor and ordered Nintendo to pay a lot of money to them.
Do we know how much?
Yes, $10.1 million was
Wow.
what it was, but
This
now
was huge.
the ruling has been overturned.
I'm curious, and this could be an hour-long question, but let's not make it so.
Okay.
Does Nintendo in this case, do they know they're breaking a patent, or do they just like do their tech and it's just like, oh crap, somebody already made this and
I mean, that's what you have to prove in court.
Yeah, that's what the
that's
courts
the
are
whole
for.
case, yeah.
And of course, each side has their own narrative. And as
Wow.
you'll see here, Nintendo's narrative was that they overreached with their patent. So a Dallas federal court ruled that the patent asserted against the Wii Remote is no longer valid. Or was never valid, actually. Sorry. That court concluded that iLife Technologies, Inc., they were the ones who were suing Nintendo. They were impermissibly trying to cover the broad concept of using motion sensors to detect motion. That was the statement from the judge. This ruling nullifies the $10.1 million US jury award against Nintendo from 2017.
Wow.
So they don't have to pay him anymore.
So they don't have to pay them anymore.
Whoa.
And also,
Overturned
good
it.
to note that this company had 6 patents originally and tried to apply all of them, use all of them against Nintendo. Initially, 5 of them were immediately dismissed. This is the only one that got through. And now, so...
And Hubert, to kind of answer your question with patents, there is a thing called like patent trolling, where people just make patents and then sue people like wholesale. They shotgun sue people to just like,
It's like YouTube
try
copyright
to hit,
claims.
It's like scam calling. It's like anything.
With the music stuff on YouTube, where people say they own Tetris or whatever, and they don't own Tetris, but they're in another country, no one's gonna check, so it's like bang, 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 bang.
Yeah.
And
They filled out the right paperwork.
That's not to say that every suit
Totally.
like this
Yeah.
is a scam,
Totally.
or this
People
one
take
necessarily.
advantage.
But yeah,
Dang.
Yeah, it's just I feel like this is a remnant from a time when we were hearing about like this era of Nintendo getting sued a lot. I think it was people calling them like patent trolls and stuff like that. That people are just like, oh, okay, enough of this. Like, is this? It seemed to be that the public opinion was more on Nintendo's side than these other companies, which was interesting to see because on the flip side, our next court case is going to make you feel like Nintendo's the bad guy.
Whoa.
A little slimy here, in my opinion.
Nintendo on
And
trial.
this is a court case that had just happened last year in Europe. It was a court case against Germany and Norway over digital refunds for pre-orders.
so Nintendo was suing 2 countries.
So here's how it worked was actually no, Nintendo wasn't suing actually. So how it worked is that Norway's Consumer Rights Council was exploring the eShop because they had gotten some complaints about it and found that Nintendo did not allow for the cancellation of pre-orders at all on eShop on the eShop, digitally, even for pre-release stuff, which they argued was a violation of not only Norwegian but EU law. So I guess Norway is not fully part of the EU, but their laws are very similar to EU consumer protection.
Yeah, they're like they're not on the euro. They still use the kroners.
They
but-
approached Germany to help them basically bring this civil suit against Nintendo, essentially.
Okay.
Because they found like it would. That's what they decided to do.
Strengthen it, yeah.
So it finally went into trial last November, and the ruling was that not allowing the cancellation of pre-orders was deemed legal by the German court. Decisions appealed, but the appeal won't be heard for up to a year and a half from now. So the current ruling stands.
So they deemed that Nintendo was
Right,
okay.
they're okay to
Was
do
fine.
it. And here was Nintendo's argument. This was a behind closed door case. So we're only hearing about it now because of that, but also a lot of the details haven't come out yet because a lot of like gag orders and like stuff reporters weren't allowed in, blah, 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 stuff like that. Nintendo argued that because you can preload a game after pre-ordering, they didn't break any laws because it fulfills the requirement of a sales contract by definition in Europe by Norwegian and European Union law.
So they're saying because you downloaded something, even though you can't use it, you're getting what you paid for.
They're saying it's service rendered.
Yeah.
Because the process has begun. So using a nice loophole there. But here's the thing. As some of our members in the EU community point out, how this works is Nintendo apparently forces you to preload your game when you pre-order it. And that there's no option to just like say like, well, what if you don't preload it and stuff? Apparently, they know about this loophole and are forcing it on that. So,
I mean, yeah, it doesn't ask you if you want to download it now; it just does it.
yeah. So, you could see a little shady. So the quick.
Sony does this too, though.
So yes, this is the conversation I want to have. Is that
PSN? You can't get a refund for anything, right?
So with Sony, from what I don't have personal experience with this, but from consumers that have reported doing this, if you call Sony and if the conditions of your purchase meet certain requirements, they will issue a refund on a digital order in certain circumstances, but it's a pain in the ass to go through.
I'm
it's
sure
not
they don't
easy
make it
to
easy.
do. Whereas Nintendo, it's a super extreme circumstances, like apologizing about Tokyo Mirage Sessions Sharp FE. They didn't announce the Japanese audience. It was going to be based on the Western version, the version that people like to call the censored version, even though it's just like, hey, just making it look a little bit like more reasonable and stuff. So they offered pre-orders in Japan refunds because like, oh, we didn't communicate that to you. That was our fault. So this is an extreme situation, that of all things. But in general, they
because
don't.
like people's chests were smaller. Or
The outfits and stuff.
Okay.
Stuff like that. But they said like, hey, we were worried that it was gonna be deceptive practice or something like that. So like, yeah, we got to offer that. But in general, like, you didn't like something, they're like, too bad you bought it. You know?
Yeah.
So the conversation I want to have is basically real quick is that I feel like it's fine to be a fan of a company, especially developers. More games, like being fans of games and developers and to be enthusiastic about that, I think that's healthy and fine. And I think it's like okay to like be excited about companies doing certain things, like releasing a game. But this also reminds you of the sad reality when, companies are not always looking in your best interest. They're looking out for their own best interest. And this is the example of they're not your friend.
Yeah.
They are a business. They like it when you're happy and they're happy and things are going well. That's the perfect situation. But when push comes to shove, they want to be happy over you not being happy if it means them getting more money.
They want the largest number of consumers to be happiest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So like if a minority of people are going to be upset about something, but a majority won't care, they'll just go with that direction and stuff, even when it, comes to like something like this where you think consumer rights are being violated.
Yeah.
So yeah, I know this has some of
It's like, dude, just let me get my $5 back. Calm down.
It's like a pre-order.
Put $5 down, like in a month I change my
Nintendo
mind.
pre-orders, it's full
the
price.
full price.
So
Yeah,
that's the thing.
Yeah.
There would be
just let me do a $5 option.
Because
like, quit being
transactions
annoying.
and stuff like the credit card fees and stuff like that. It's
probably a nightmare on that. Yeah, and people can take advantage of it and stuff.
But I'm on the side of like this is ridiculous. If the game, I don't care about preloading and stuff. It's like your license gets revoked. Like on Steam, you could play the game for 2 hours and or under certain conditions on Steam, and you don't like it. You feel the conditions. Who cares? Your license is revoked. You just lose the game. You don't have access to the game.
That was not always the case. Yeah. That was added due to public outcry in no small part.
This is what it needs to get to. Like people need to put pressure on these companies, and hopefully Sony and specifically Nintendo, because I think Nintendo's the worst of them right now, need to have a policy similar to that that's more consumer friendly.
I feel like it does come down to money in the sense that they don't want to hire more people, because if you hire a ton of people, you could manage the people calling in and doing that nitty gritty bookwork of all right, tell me your situation and I'll get you a refund if it meets the requirements. There does need to be, maybe that's a halfway measure or something. I don't know.
On the other hand, though, it's I recently tried some new shampoo and conditioner, and I determined that I was allergic to the shampoo by testing it on my arm and stuff after I had a reaction. And so I wrote in and I was like, hey, I really liked the stuff. My hair felt great after I used all the stuff, but the shampoo made me allergic, and I'm pretty sure it's this ingredient. Do you have a way? And it's like a company where they formulate your own formula. And I was like, do you have a way to make me one without that in it? And they were like, no, we can't. That's the main foaming agent, so we can't take that out. But here's a full refund of all of it.
That's pretty nice.
And not just the product that messed me up, but the whole order. And I was like, I didn't expect that, So now I'm I like this company that I can't even use their stuff. It's I have goodwill for this company now.
Yeah, because
even though I cost them $90 or whatever.
And and it's just get more. Again, it's just so rigid, right?
Yeah.
I feel so many things are just so rigid where it's just yeah, people can take advantage of this, but if we have a system where maybe, you get a refund, it's credit, it's digital credit.
Right.
And then, you can only have one refund for every 3 months or something. So you're not just like refund this, refund that, to mark people that are trying to exploit it or take advantage.
I agree.
If it's like this one game I want to return and I haven't made any returns ever, like, I have a problem with this. Like, can I just get a return?
I think that's correct. And honestly, I do think that some companies obviously can provide returns very easily because they can cover like the cost and stuff. Like smaller, like mom and pop shops, a little harder to like, but the best policy is trying to make the customer happy within reason and stuff, because like even in Ian's instance here, like Ian can't use the product again. In other instances, like why Amazon might like refund you or something, so they want you to stay happy. They want you to come back. But like in this case, Hebert, all the things you said were great, but this is for pre-release. This is a pre-order.
True,
you haven't
exactly.
even touched the game. There should be no exception to that rule. It should be like, get the refund.
Yeah.
How are you abusing that? Unless there's a pre-order bonus, then like you need the game for it. Like it would always be digital. Reject that. Just take away the license for anything you got as a pre-order bonus if it was digital.
To play devil's advocate brand manager though too, like there is some responsibility on the consumer to spend their money accordingly. Again, it's a situation based, and I don't think there should be a blanket policy of just no refunds. There should be more nuance.
Yeah, every store has that, like 30-day return. It has some things that like games have always had that be unopened and stuff, like because people know the exploits and everything. Like I'm okay. I'm okay with them evolving over time to adapt to close loopholes, but having nothing in place whatsoever, you got to start somewhere. And I think you got to start on the side that's the most consumer friendly, and then tweak it from there.
Because it's easy. It'd be easy to just say like, we could sit here and be like, well, if you're not happy with it, don't pre-order anything. And it's like, on the one hand, sure, yeah, but like, we all know the joys of preloading a game so you can start it right at 9 p.m. here in LA, It's like there's nothing better than that. Yeah. And digital ordering, like it's faster in that way. You can preload it. Plus, I guess it's better for the environment. I just thought of that too right now, but like so it's like people are going to be preloading. People are going to pre-order. You're not going to stop. Yeah. So you need to. But the other thing is like I don't think Nintendo, unless there's some huge backlash, they don't need to change. They're not going to change. Like I think eventually everyone will have to.
I think they'll do a little compromise about a refund. I think they'll do a little bit of something, but it's definitely not going to be some Steam Wild West. But it's game 3 hours, but I'm good.
Yeah.
I mean, I love this. Yeah, I mean, I know people abuse it, but I do love the Steam thing. There have definitely been games where I did not play a lot of, and I was like, this is not for me. Or one game that just didn't work for me for whatever reason, despite trying to troubleshoot it. But yeah.
And like probably there are some people who take advantage of the way Steam does it, but by and large, I would guess that they're in the minority.
Yeah.
You think about games that take less than 2 hours to beat, and it's like, I guess technically, unless they changed this, maybe they did, but technically you could play it, beat it, get a refund. I don't think most people are probably doing that though.
They check. I think they have a way to check maybe like
completion,
the achievements and stuff on it as well. Or I would guess like if they see the achievement if you beat it, like excuse me, that's
you beat this game.
It.
When I used to work at a movie theater. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
When I used to work at a movie theater, sometimes like once or twice, 2-3 times a year, someone would come out of a movie after it's over and request a refund because they didn't like it, and we would always have to be like, well. No, you watch the whole movie. Like you got to leave in the first 10-15 minutes if you want a refund.
Side point, but it made me think of, did you see how Netflix judges their viewings now?
No.
They just changed it. So if you watch something on Netflix for 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Yeah.
It counts as a view.
Oh my God.
So they said 83 million viewers for like the Michael Bay 6 Underground or whatever. 2 minutes counts as a view, So it's like this Steam thing of like how long have you been playing?
When you're Netflix and you're the one who makes the metrics and chooses to release the information, I guess you can do whatever you want.
That's weird because like I would say that's more useful like something like a YouTube because like an ad might run in those first 2 minutes, whereas Netflix you're not getting ads, so it's like
it's weird.
Yeah, it's just weird. Like
it seems like they're. it is an ad just to say like 82 million watched this. You know,
that's like clearly trying to.
but
game
like
it.
internally, they're like, okay, that was a flop because only
yeah.
20,000 people watched the whole thing all the way through. 82 million people. What?
It's like they're the ones paying for the content. So it's like you're deceiving yourselves.
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Like,
They just
whatever.
want to make themselves feel
Unless
good.
they're just like pushing it out there to get people to like watch more of it, like
Right.
get people excited because this is a big deal.
FOMO.
Yeah.
Everyone else liked
Yeah.
this. 82 million people.
just crazy.
What's
You
wrong with me?
Use those numbers to just say whatever you want.
Yeah.
It's scary.
I know, but it's your own system. You can say what you want.
There are cool articles about that kind of stuff. How you can make numbers lie like that. I don't know if Freakonomics is one of them, or maybe
Numbers
that guy
never
did it.
lie, but liars use numbers.
Whoa.
Whoa, dropping some wisdom here. Hubert.
It's true. Anyway.
Yeah, this was interesting to talk about. We got some requests from some of our patrons who submitted questions actually about this. So hopefully that was kind of what you were looking for those of you sending questions about that. But
I think that we're still in the Wild West, to use your term. Like, Steam was an early adopter, which I think was the right choice because the way Steam is more client facing, it was a way louder issue. But I anticipate, 5, 10, 15 years from now, if not sooner, it'll have to work like that. Everyone will have to be able to give you refunds and stuff, just like legally.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're still working on internet law.
yeah, it's still evolving. But I agree.
Internet law.
I think we'll get there. But something. It's funny because, usually you'd expect people to get worked up and up in arms about something like this, but they got worked up and up in arms, most people, about something else that happened recently, and that would be the 5th and final character reveal of the first Fighter's Pass for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. No. What was it? No. Not this one either. Let me just read here. Byleth from Fire Emblem 3 Houses.
She's the one with the 2 guns, right?
Yeah.
The black gun and the white gun.
Not in
White
a
hair,
said
too.
not in
White hair,
not in a
red
million
coat.
years, right?
Right,
Not a
but
million
she
years
eats a lot
happening.
of pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of jokes.
Talks a lot.
Says a lot of one-liners.
Really strong main character.
Inappropriate use of pull my devil trigger. Yeah.
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 She's great.
Okay.
Or he.
Yeah, that's the best thing. There's male and female Byleth. So there you go. Good options there. Could be more, but hey, it's a first step. All right, so enough of this bit. Sakurai presented a 35-minute Smash Direct, the final one of the season pass, Fighter Pass.
First Fighter Pass.
First Fighter Pass. And pretty much said, like, in the first few seconds, you're going to guess it. And I think we were watching it live. Huber, myself, and Daniel Bloodworth.
At 6 a.m.
Yeah, at 6 a.m. Got us up at 6 a.m.
Local
for
time.
this. And we watched it, and we knew it was Fire Emblem and Byleth. And the cool presentation, everything like that. But you could feel that people were like, there's a troll to this. Like, there's something more to this.
Yeah.
And you get to the end, and it's over, and there is no more to it. It's just...
That's maybe one of the worst feelings in video gaming, like being a fan, is like the feeling that you're like, just one more thing. Oh, come on. There's got to be they got to drop the bomb, and then they just don't. And you're like, oh,
There
okay.
was a moment in there about...
I've decided right here, right now, that like I'm gonna convince myself there's never one more thing,
So
because you're disappointed more than when there is one thing. You know,
Wow.
it's so rare.
When it comes to Nintendo and Smash reveals, from now
more
on,
thing?
there is no more one more thing.
Yeah.
I broke that rule for this one, and in the back of my mind, about 5 minutes, I'm like, oh, they're absolutely have another character joke. Like, it's coming. Like, I just gotta stay cool and stuff, you know. Stay cool. Stay
frosty.
And it didn't happen. I'm like, no, from now on, I will treat it as that. It's just what they say it is. Take it at face value.
Here's the thing. Here's my, and this sounds really intense, but hope is a disease. I say it from time to time. Like,
it's more than that, Ian. I
you
think,
know,
in this
desire
situation.
is the root of all suffering, as the Buddhists like to say. You know,
It's hope, but it's also a lot of this. So a lot of this is putting a lot of faith in assumptions, taking assumption as truth.
Yeah.
We talk about this a lot in Friend Code about rumors being taken as truth.
Yeah.
And it's bitten a lot of people in the ass over the past, since the dawn of rumors and Nintendo and stuff. People need to stop always putting so much faith in leaks and in rumors. No matter how widely circulated they get, doesn't mean they're going to come to fruition. Stop taking them as fact.
All those Batman rumors that are just like fact, no, it doesn't exist yet. Like, we can't just accept that.
Who are you?
You know? Because, no, but it's like, you just keep waiting and waiting and waiting, and it's like, it's unhealthy. It's like, let me put my energy somewhere else instead of, like, grasping on to these rumors. Like, I just let them release it and announce it on their own terms.
I want to have a conversation about that and the reaction to this in just a few minutes. I want to just finish recapping what happened here really quick. Byleth, you could pick a male, female version. There will be alternate costume colors for each of them. And then like a version, they'll go through Garrick Mach is the new level. All the three houses are represented in each different area. So you have the Black Eagles. I believe it's Dorothea, Edelgard, and Petra are in that one. For Blue Lions, I believe it's Dimitri, Ingrid, and Dedu. And he said not doo-doo, which was pretty funny. Sakurai kept making pronunciation jokes, which was pretty funny. A lot of mispronunciations of characters, I guess, that he's heard. And then the golden deer was Claude, Hilda, and I think Lawrence was the last one. I forget if it was Lawrence. But they show up. It's kind of a nice touch. Not Edelgard. Wish it was Edelgard. Byleth changes weapons depending on which direction you hold. Got the axe.
Looked really fun.
Got the spear.
Very fun character.
Got the bow and got the sword. I can't say any more about what that is because Huber might still be playing Fire Emblem, and I can't spoil what those are, but they're very important. And there's a very specific reason they're awesome. Nice. So I actually,
it's the sword, right?
No. There's the creation of them. There's it's an important story.
The legendary weapons.
I can tell you afterwards.
Tell me later.
They also revealed new Mii costumes, like Altair and Cuphead, with a new music track as well from Cuphead, which is pretty cool.
Altair.
Some other Mega Man ones in there, but no Legends. Unfortunately, was hoping for Legends.
It's coming.
And they concluded it by announcing the Fighters Pass Volume 2, which will feature 6 DLC characters this time instead of 5.
So Ben told me this joke that he saw on Twitter, so I have no idea who the originator of this joke is, but when they announced the DLC for Fire Emblem, and it was the 4 House of Wolves or whatever they're called, Fire Emblem characters. Ashen Wolves. Someone was like, new Fighter Pass Season 2 characters coming soon. It's just like 4 of them. 4 new Fire Emblem
Someone
characters.
just put, one of the lead characters from the last Fire Emblem game, Fates, put her 6 different versions of her outfit into each slot. That was the one I saw that made me kind of laugh.
Sakurai just loves Fire Emblem.
Yeah, I think it's cool. Like, Fire Emblem's not... I'm not familiar with it because I've never played a Fire Emblem game, and there
Three Houses is dope.
Yeah, it looks amazing. And there's a lot of Fire Emblem characters already in Smash. So obviously it's like not for me, but I think it's really cool because Three Houses was like one of Nintendo's biggest games in 2019, critically and commercially, both fronts, both sides of that. So I think it's really cool that this current big Nintendo game is being represented in Smash. Smash is all about nostalgia, usually, like getting all these great past legends and we're throwing them in Smash. And I think it is a cool angle that they're focusing on a new game this time. So that's kind of where I am.
And they don't have to. I mean, I theoretically they don't have to pay anything for these characters.
This one's in-house, so they shouldn't have to.
I mean, I don't know if they have to pay Konami for Snake or whatever. I don't know,
for third party? Oh, probably.
Sure, they do, right?
Yes, for third party costs, but Byleth is in-house, so that's their own character.
Right, so it's like it's cheaper to do, more in-house characters.
I have a patron question in just a second that talks about the reaction to this. Real quick, to finish up the details of this whole passing. All 6 of the new characters are promised to be out by December 31st, 2021. So they're giving themselves a little bit more time, like about 23 months to complete the 6 characters, whereas they had roughly 14 months to complete 5 previously.
And that's another reason to be less angry is because there's more to come.
Very good point. Very good point. Absolutely true.
All the next ones will be Dante.
Yeah. 6 different Dantes, of course. They didn't give
See, in this
They'll
way
do
we can use,
Devil May Cry 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
5,
and DMC.
Yeah, that's
it's perfect.
It's it. Yeah.
this is the good side of hope.
Total delusion.
Oh, yeah. No price was given on this, though. But the pre-orders begin on January 28th. And in a good sport, like I love this about Sakurai. Same message he delivered at the beginning of the first season pass announcement. Hey, because we can't tell you about who the fighters are yet by the nature of this process, please only buy this if you like feel comfortable doing it.
That's
like
good.
we want
That's
you to
good.
not feel pressured to do this until you know more. But if you want to, go ahead as well. But like we understand it sucks. We can't tell you.
Yeah.
We want to hold them as surprises.
That's good to say.
Yeah.
Sorry.
For sure.
Because no refunds.
Yeah.
'Cause no
Yeah,
refunds.
no refunds. That would, yeah.
How
good.
much was the last Fighter Pass?
So
Do you
last
remember?
pass was $24.99.
That's what I was gonna say. $24.99.
So either be the same price or probably like $29.99 or something like that.
It's one more character.
Because individually they were $5.99, and I
you
was
can
like,
buy them individually.
individually is $5.99 for a character, the level, and the music tracks. And then me stuff is separate. You will get an exclusive me costume for buying the Fighter's Pass. Last time it was Rex's outfit from Xenoblade Chronicles 2, not Metal Gear Rex. I know what you were thinking, Hubert.
So my eyes light
this
up.
this time it's gonna be the ancient soldier costume, like the Guardian
Soldier,
outfit
yeah,
from
yeah,
Breath
yeah,
of the
okay, they
Wild.
showed that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's
they
cool.
did show that in action.
That's cool.
Okay, so what we really want to talk about here, I don't want to, like, this was just getting it out of the way, the details and stuff, but, like, what we started talking about, and I kind of interrupted, I apologize, is about the reaction, your feelings about this. And Straw Hat Ninja asked a question about why people are frustrated about this announcement. Greetings, allies. It feels like I'm one of the few people who were happy when Byleth got in. Sakurai clearly loves Fire Emblem, and it shows. The Fighter's Pass has some great unexpected characters, and we're getting 6 more. I don't understand why people are just outright furious. Love and respect.
I mean, simple answer is it's easy to get angry nowadays, People just are itching to get angry. But like I don't understand it, honestly. I don't fully understand how you could just like scream and put out all that anger and like hate basically because you didn't get a character you wanted in it, I just like Sakurai, again, I love that they spoke to the passion of Fire Emblem from Sakurai because that does shine through. You see this man working 24/7 at this, and he's just doing what he loves, and he's showcasing one of Nintendo's current big games. It's like, why get angry, please?
Also, who knows? Maybe Nintendo says he has to do it, but like, I don't know.
I saw someone trying to use that defense. We don't know enough. Like,
Yeah, I
there
mean,
have been people saying
and it wouldn't
Nintendo
matter
picks
either way. It wouldn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's the correct, the real thing about it.
I mean, my probably feeling is close to yours, where it's like, I mean, it's my therapist calls it scaling, where it's like when you've got people in your life who have died, or like you see how our planet is being destroyed.
Yeah.
Characters in Smash don't matter at all. But it's like, in a way, if you're able to be this passionate and angry about a Smash character, it's like, congratulations on your amazing life, I guess. I mean, that's very generalizing. But I will say, as gamers, as a community, we do this to ourselves, and I'm guilty of it too. Like we were talking about before, every time it's E3, and every time there's a Sony State of Play or a Microsoft Showcase or a Ubisoft press conference or whatever, I'm always hoping for that one huge shadow drop, that huge new thing. I want this to come out now. I want them to announce Bloodborne 2. I want them to do this. I want them to do that. And when they don't, like, I personally don't get mad. I'm just like, oh, well, that's a bummer.
Wait till next E3.
or but it's like
Nintendo Direct or whatever.
It's part of the cycle of the way the games industry works right now, that it is based on hype and hope and excitement, And it's all part of the sales cycle, right? Is to build up people's anticipation and then reveal a thing. And you can't please all the people all the time. You just can't. So there are people who love Three Houses who are stoked that Byleth is in it, and there are people who don't care about Three Houses who want it to be Dante. And it's like, that's just how it is. You can't please everyone. Yeah. The reaction being anger and outrage and like, I mean, I don't know the full extent of this reaction, if people were like being like truly ridiculous or not, but like, you know, we've seen some things in gaming where people get like pretty mean, you know, and I think that's unnecessary.
Yeah,
but
there's a fine line between like disappointment and anger and hate, you know, like you can be disappointed. Totally fine.
Yeah.
Like, dude, Batman doesn't show up at the Game Awards. I'm disappointed. I'm sad.
Guess what? I'm disappointed by the games industry all the time.
It's
that's my secret.
Yeah, I'm always disappointed.
It's 100%.
That's my secret.
But it's when you take it that one extra step and you direct that disappointment into rage or anger towards another human.
It's
you know,
it's akin to cancel culture too, where it's like. And I said this in, I think, the episode with Bossman I did for Easy Update, but it's like, I've canceled people, you know, but to cancel, I just cancel. I just stop engaging. Yeah. I don't also harass them.
Yeah, you just
I'm just
yourself.
Like, all right, not going to go to the next Harry Potter movie, whatever. It's like, as an example, like whatever.
Yeah.
It's just like, you know, like that's how you do it. And like,
you do it
I
internally.
personally don't understand the next step of that, of like getting mean at someone, because I don't think that's it's not productive. Voicing a criticism, especially when it comes to, you know, more like freedoms-based stuff, I think can be beneficial, but the way to do it is not usually with vitriol, but with tact and like empathy.
And how hard is that though to do on social media and online? It's nigh impossible.
Yeah, it's hard.
Like you put Sakurai down in a room with people who are pissed. They're probably not going to be pissed if they're in the room with Sakurai, looking at him in the eyes, you know? Like, oh, okay, maybe I'm just a little disappointed that it's Fire Emblem, but next time.
Well, and it makes
there's no nuance online. Like you can't. It's really hard to have a constructive back and
really
forth.
Good anecdote about that, actually, involving Sakurai. Real quick, the roundtable for the Wii U Smash Bros. Super Smash Bros. For Wii U and 3DS, unveiling Pac-Man at the round table at that E3. There was a quick Q&A session afterwards, and someone in the audience asked Sakurai a question about Smash Brothers, where basically they were like asking them why they don't do certain things to make the game more competitive, and they were going to like trying to go into like alluding to specific mechanics that like they're basically trying to ask why it wasn't Melee essentially. And Sakurai just straight up said, "How many games have you developed? How many games?" And like basically called them out, says, "You really don't know anything, do you?" It's just like, have you actually developed a game?
Shut down.
It was like that's how he reacted. It's like a Kami type like, but I'm like. Yeah, it was pretty good, and everyone laughed at it and stuff. It's like, yeah, like
if that guy's coming out,
you're gonna do it in person, like, you know, that wasn't as bad as I seen on the internet, but like they do get this stuff even in person and stuff, even in like a more professional environment, and like not everyone could be as like witty as that, but like I'm glad, you know, occasionally they have a good retort to that. It's like, stop, like you don't know what you're talking about.
Well, and like the shield of anonymity on the internet, and yeah, because I've heard many anecdotes too of people who are being harassed who then like talk to someone, and then by the end of it, like the person apologizes and like asks for help from them, you know, and it's just like, obviously that's the exception, not the rule, and you know, hopefully I wish that things like that didn't happen at all, but like it's a very strange world we live in right now, where it's like, and it's a cycle too, because it's like, let's say Nintendo is a person, right? And people are saying mean things to Nintendo. Then Nintendo has its feelings hurt and claps back with a tweet that wasn't thought out very well or whatever. And then it just keeps spiraling out of control. And it's like, let's take Blizzard as an example, right? Where it's like, they did some crazy messed up stuff about firing people and revoking wins and stuff for someone just supporting a belief that they had, you know. a political belief, which it's like, sure, whatever. You could make the argument it's not the time or place, but it's like, whatever, you know? That's that person. That's not whatever. I'm not here to talk about that really, but like, and then a bunch of time goes by, and then they put out an apology that's like kind of whatever, not great. And then time just kind of seems to heal wounds, and everyone just sort of moves on. And it's like you're damned if you do, kind of damned if you don't, because it's like Blizzard's initial gut shot reaction was way bad, and then they waited super long, and then their apology wasn't good enough. And it's like, you can't act too fast, you can't act too slow. People want reactions really fast, but they're not well thought out. A good thought out reaction takes a long time, but then it never hits the mark because things have built up too much. Yeah. So it's just like,
people want to forgive, but they also want to be pissed.
Right.
So like, when do you forgive someone?
The real answer to everything in life is just like,
just love.
Just try to do your best, goddammit. Like, just try to do your best. As long as you can, make the world a better place.
Yo,
think it through.
Curb's been on the mind. My favorite of all time that Larry David has ever said. It was a couple seasons ago. He's trying to get on the airplane, and the woman's like, "No, I'm sorry, federal law. Like, you can't. Like, the thing is closed." He's like, "What about the golden rule? Like, treat others how you want to be treated." She's like, "No, it's federal law." And he goes, "The golden rule supersedes federal law. The golden rule is on top. Number one." Like, just treat everyone with love and respect.
Yeah, and it's a valuable tool if you find yourself ready to, like, I've found myself ready to tweet out things that in hindsight would have been like the wrong take or like not the right thing to do at the moment, and then I've thought about it for just another couple of minutes, and then I've said, either most of the time I'm just like, it's not worth it. Like, usually I'm trying to clap back at somebody, and I'm just like, whatever. Then they win.
That's good, dude. That's like, because we get emotional, right?
Right.
You have a handle on your emotion.
Yeah, and it's hard to do, but you just have to picture it as like, well, the first thing I usually think of is like, how much more of a pain in the ass is this going to be for me? And usually if it's any, the answer is do not engage. But B, then you think about them as a human being and say like, okay, they're coming from some kind of angry, weird place. If I were there in person, I could probably get some work done and help this person. But online, with inflection not going through properly, and like even in videos, like I'm sure my tone has been misinterpreted countless times already in this video alone. Like, yeah, it's just, it's a weird time we live in. And like,
I agree.
I don't want to shame anyone for being upset about Byleth being in Smash. Like,
no, you can be disappointed. Yeah. Just don't
be disappointed. Don't get violent and don't get mad.
Yeah,
like, you can be mad. Just don't lash out.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's the message I really wanted to hit home, was that it's perfectly healthy and normal to be disappointed, even borderline upset, but like, it's how you go about expressing that.
Yes.
Right.
Especially when it comes online, and you both did a very great job of illustrating and articulating those points about where you do cross the line. I don't know if Sakurai has been, I don't know if it's actually been crossing the line in this specific thing.
Yeah.
I think it might have, if anything, I think it might have been a little bit more preemptive from people who were like happy, like, hey, just chill out. Like, let's not let it get, like, I think it might have been good that it was like, let's not let this get out of hand.
Sure.
Because following in another Nintendo game, like Pokemon Sword and Shield, like those developers have been getting like just tarred and feathered over all the decisions they've been making, culminating with the DLC announcement. Masuda being like on his birthday, having to tweet back to someone like asking like, yo, so about those original Pokemon being in DLC and you making me pay for them. He's like, it's my birthday and it's like I'm on holiday. Can I get one day to like not be harassed?
Oh,
it's
man.
like,
see, that's where I'm like, that's why are you like, yeah, I don't think that Pokemon game is very good either. I just stopped playing it halfway through. And it's like, yeah, I don't have a lifelong love of Pokemon games. So yes, I understand it doesn't mean as much to me as it does to many other people. But it's like, how can you not, like, how is it going to benefit you to ruin a human being's life and make the creators of Pokemon resent their own fan base? You know, like I'm basically done with Star Wars right now because I'm tired of it. I like Star Wars, but like all of the fan base and all of the dumb stuff and all the countless think pieces and like even Forbes writing articles about stuff, I'm just like, guys, they're just movies. Shut up.
And I understand, yeah, like people can definitely be passionate about this stuff, but yeah, at some point you just gotta like realize that it's not something you need to cross this line of like where it becomes harassment essentially.
Right.
There are other ways. There are so many ways you can vocalize your dissenting opinion on something without crossing that line. And I understand like some people might just not know any better. Like they're like, oh, I haven't been taught a way to be, or I haven't been exposed this way, and that's where that conversation does help. But you're alluding to like, yeah, there's maybe a way this dialogue will make them realize that at the same time.
Another side of the anonymity aspect of the internet is like, I think everyone has a tendency to place attributes of like their own experience onto other people, which can mean like, I'm assuming that somebody flaming me is also in their 30s and a rational adult when they could be like 8.
Or they could be even older.
Yeah, or what I mean, you know what I mean? It's
I know,
you don't know the situation of this person, and you don't know like
exactly, yeah.
So like I always try to think like someone who's coming after me, think about it like a psychiatrist is like they're coming after me because of horrible things going on in their life, or like maybe they've got it really bad and like they're trying to let off some steam or whatever. That doesn't mean I condone it. That doesn't mean I don't just immediately mute or block that person, because like if you're harassing someone, you lose. You've lost the argument. You're wrong. Like even if you're right, you're wrong because you're doing it the wrong way. You're not being rational. You're just being emotional and reacting. You're being reactionary. And it's like even if your point is correct, you are wrong, because you did it the wrong way.
Yeah.
It's like if someone like bumps your car, screaming or getting in a fist fight is wrong. It's the wrong answer to that problem. Whereas, just like dispassionately getting their, insurance is the right way to handle that. I mean, like they might go off the deep end too, so you can't control everything. But it's like, you know what I mean?
It's a good analogy.
Like there are ways to be wrong in this existence, and violent, hateful speech is wrong.
Like Byleth is a car, and Byleth hit your car. Just ask Sakurai for his insurance papers. Don't come at him and attack him.
Right. I mean,
I see what you're saying.
Just say, in this case, it's like if you wanted Dante and got Byleth, that sucks. And then hopefully you get some cool fighters in Pack 2. But maybe take it also as like, hey, maybe Sakurai would love to put Dante in there, but can't. Yeah. And for legal reasons, can't say that he can't.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Like,
he's
probably under a contract to not reveal or deny any possibilities about future fighters, And it's like...
Yeah, I think that's such a hard thing for a lot of average people to understand. It's like the position that they're in, where like you can't say something. You're like, he might be bursting, say, "Guys, chill. Next one's Dante. I just can't say it.
I can't say it.
Stop being so upset. Like, I don't want you. Like, it might tear him to see people upset, but like, it's part of that. You also
you might have to put a certain number of Nintendo characters in every block. Like, who knows?
Like, isn't there always something to be hopeful about? Like, I love unfulfilled hype because, like, getting hyped to something, and it either you hit it, you get blackjack, or you bust and you take that hype and you place it somewhere else. You place it on the next fighter pack in this case.
Yeah.
Or you place it on the next E3 or the next Nintendo Direct. There's always something to look forward to. So it's like hard to get hung up on.
It's two parts.
Like Pokemon, I feel like it's in Star Wars is such old news now.
Yeah, dude.
It's so old. Like there's so much more to be excited about. Let's keep it going.
Hey, just look back at the like what you got. Like for one fighter might have been the one people were upset about with Byleth, but like of the other fighters that released, you got Joker. Like this speaks to what you were talking about earlier, Ian, specifically, was that not everyone, like, you can't please everybody, but they're always going to be fans of certain things. So Persona fans generally pretty happy about Joker. That was a big deal, but they're a larger group of, like, a larger base, I would think. Then Dragon Quest had a character announced as well, and everyone's like, oh, maybe we not feel as excited, but there are probably people out there who are like, yes. Dragon Quest.
Right.
Yes.
Banjo-Kazooie, as hyped as some of us are, there might be people out there who don't care about Banjo because they're like, that was a wasted one. But, some people obviously were really happy. And then, like, Terry was another one where people were like, Terry. But, like, you saw that presentation stuff, like, they cared so much. And, like, it wasn't like joke or troll or like a haphazard pick. They obviously put a lot of thought into it. And Byleth as well. There are people who are very happy with it despite them, not being Dante, whatever. And I also want to quickly say I understand that part of the frustration also doesn't stem just from like them announcing not the character they wanted, but also in the grander scheme of Smash Brothers, the representation from Fire Emblem now already skewed the highest, but now it's like even further skewed higher in terms of how many characters have how many swordsmen. That was the joke they even made in the presentation. Sotha said like, oh, another swordsman, type thing. But like Sakurai was being very funny and self-referential there. But, like, the game's doing successful and stuff, and, like, this was a franchise that was on the verge of dying at one point before Awakening came out, and it let them have their, like, success and stuff, because the flip side could be the series could be dying and go away, and you're like, oh, remember what happened to Fire Emblem and stuff? Like, it's...
Like, Fire Emblem is way more tied to Nintendo than Final Fantasy, right? I know the Final Fantasy Origins are, like, NES. Like, I had the NES.
Been around almost as long as Fire Emblem. Final Fantasy, sorry.
So I think that's really cool, because it is, like, so Nintendo, Whereas, like, obviously it'd be really cool if we got Squall and, like, Balthier and Sephiroth and all these Final Fantasy characters, but it's like... Fire Emblem, I feel like, is so Nintendo. It just fits well with Smash.
And, like, that's a good point here, because that's kind of the thing I wanted to also vocalize as well here, is that the assumption that we're going to get all 5 third-party characters, like, I feel like that was a pipe dream.
Yeah.
Regardless of who you want to, like, try and source might have said that at one point on the record or stuff. It didn't happen. It's like, going forward, you were saying about, like, the other part of Hope looking forward, we're getting 6 more chances.
Waluigi's the number 6.
And at least 1, possibly even 2, even more of these upcoming 6 will be first-party characters.
Yeah. In fact, there is the minimum of 1 that is going to be legendary. It's going to be an epic moment. Minimum.
Oh, and I'm going to tell you,
all 6 could be
a minimum of 1 of them is going to be from Pokemon. Like, there absolutely will be a Pokemon thing here, and there will probably be, like, people upset again, potentially, but, like, it's realistic.
Final Fantasy's coming out. Now's the time for a little Sephiroth action.
But here we go again. Like, people are going to start having, like, here's the hope phase again. Like,
here we go.
They went right from disappointment
Isn't that
into
healing?
hope.
Isn't that like a healing bath?
Well, and like the other thing, like
Does it feel good?
The easiest example, I mean, is obviously the Fighter Pass Season 1 and Star Wars, where it's like there's a concept I think about a lot that I think of as possibility murder, where it's like every choice you make kills every choice you didn't make. You know what I mean? And so like it goes like that with people's hopes and dreams, right? Where it's like because it was
Yoshi's the scapegoat.
Of, what?
Yoshi's the scapegoat. Yoshi gets killed. I'm trying to follow your analogy here.
Oh, it'll become clear in a second. because there was a season 1 pass and it was limited to 5, right? Now that the 5th one is out, there's no more possibilities for what those 5 things could be. Whereas when 4 were out and the 5th one was still coming, it could have been anything. So now that there's no more possibility, everyone can be mad because there's no more hope of that last one being everything everyone wants and making everyone happy. But like, whereas if they had not done season passes and just made you pay $4.99 or whatever for each one individually, people would be less mad about this one because they would know that 6 more were coming and it's like whatever. Dude. Same with like Star Wars, where it's like every Star Wars movie that came out and didn't meet all of your wildest dreams murdered every Star Wars in your head that it wasn't. You know what I mean?
I get it.
So yeah,
definitely follow.
Yeah,
Travis touchdown. It's coming.
Well,
thought it right now.
Real quick, 2 more patron questions are about the future characters,
nice.
And I want to like end a little bit more like optimistic. Go back to that hope phase. I'll also,
I was
something a little bit more fun and a little less serious to lighten the mood a little bit.
I was thinking about Yoshi as a scapegoat for Jones.
Oh,
I get it.
Because like Jones, Jones didn't get this, so he points at Yoshi. Right?
Oh, that's different. Yeah, it's a little different.
It's different.
Yeah.
It's different.
This one comes from Nick. What character do you think will kick off the next Fighters Pass? Will Nintendo go third-party or use it as a marketing opportunity again for a first-party franchise? I think we're likely to see a Pokemon from the new Sword and Shield DLC. Love and respect, Nick.
Do we know around what month this first fighter would be?
No.
Because I'm gonna guess. I'm straight up shooting from the moon. I'm guessing Sephiroth is number 1 to tie into the remake release.
Okay.
The time is right. Cloud is already in there. It's a 10 out of 10.
Putting 2 Final Fantasy VII characters in there.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Sounds
You can
very
have
realistic.
10 Fire Emblem characters. You can't have 2 from Final Fantasy VII.
No, it's definitely within the realm of possibility, Hubert.
Okay.
I'm gonna say, give it low chances here for fun thing. Okay. The thing I like about this question, though, is again to challenge people's assumptions, because I think people still might be making the same mistakes. Pointing out a great thing. We don't know if it's next one will be first party or a third party guess. Literally, all 6 of these could be first party characters.
Yeah.
So, like, be careful again.
Yeah,
like,
be careful.
Have hope, but like, don't fall into the same pitfalls you just fell
fate,
into.
but what we make.
And I mean, like, if we assume Sakurai can put in whoever he wants, then the smart move, if he has any control over it and the order they go into, even if they're working on Sword 1 from Pokemon, is to switch to a third-party one right now so that that's the first one you put out just for PR purposes. He may not have control over which ones are in the game at all, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, we can't make that assumption. If we do make that assumption, then I think a third party would be a smart move for the first. Joker was the first one of this block, right? So it was a third party one first. How many other Capcom characters are in it? There's Ryu
and Ken.
and Ken.
And there's
Don't do this to me, Ian.
well,
No.
they have a bunch of Mii costumes in there. They also have Mega Man. Sorry, Mega Man's in there as well.
You know what I would do? I would go with,
And there's a Monster Hunter stage.
like, if I knew that right. If I knew that we had some, like, legitimate, like, if I know Dante's coming up, Sephiroth is coming up, like, everything, whatever else people want, Solaire, you know. Like, if I knew that they were coming up later, I would make the first one so unassailably funny and weird just to diffuse everything. Just to be like, what? And, like, I don't know, do, like
a Rob type character,
or like shop owner,
Rob's already in
like
there.
shop owner from Dragon's Dogma. Like someone just so out of left field that everyone is just like, what?
Resident Evil 4 shopkeeper. There you
Oh
go.
my god.
This is a joke. Like, they show Ari and you're like, yeah, okay, Ari, that's the shopkeeper.
That's
Like,
the
what?
perfect call. Resident Evil 4 shopkeeper. He just goes, "What are you buying?" And then a bunch of guns shoot
And in the
you.
background of the stage is Leon fighting and stuff.
Yeah,
and like everything
yeah,
you wanted,
yeah,
but
yeah.
you don't get to
all
play
the
it.
characters you want,
It's
but
just
you
in
don't
the
get them.
background.
Like I would make a joke, and people would get so mad.
Quick thing to say real quick.
Wait, who are you gonna say
Sakurai said all 6 characters have already been picked. They're already selected. So he said, don't hit me up on Twitter asking for this
Please
or that.
stop asking for Goku.
Where-
He was in a
Yeah, like that already was like
manga first.
said something about they got to have origin in video games.
Yeah.
Which also probably means Geralt won't be a possibility.
Yes, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Geralt of Rivia.
So
will
Geralt's
have
been
to-
popping up in everything else
Yeah.
lately, you know.
He's going Ezio style.
I would say
Cool it, Geralt.
one that I don't think will happen. I know a lot of people would like to
Don't
happen.
you dare.
What? Sub-Zero or Scorpion.
okay.
Something from Mortal Kombat.
Why? Whoa. Why would that not happen?
Because of the violent nature of the series, they already had the whole thing about sexualization. Like they had to cut Mai from the
Counter argument.
What's that?
Mortal Kombat versus DC and Injustice are both T for teen.
They could just do friendships all the time.
It's so they obviously make no blood and stuff like easily. Yes, they can do it where it's just like play within the realm of Smash. But the other part of it is I don't know who has the final say on this. But is Capcom okay with a Street Fighter character being next to a Mortal Kombat character?
That's why it's a dream. That's why we hope.
No, I know. Like us as fans,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
don't know if they really think that or not. Like I think there's a
What do you
lot
think?
more to consider. I don't think it's gonna happen. But I do think if it did, Sub-Zero and Scorpion seem like the most obvious because they're more fantasy type powers, especially Sub-Zero. No spear,
You could
so like
just freeze them, yeah.
freeze and stuff. I think Sub-Zero would work.
What if, because like Pokemon Trainer is the only like tri character, right? What if it was Sub-Zero and Scorpion together?
Well, one could be an
And
Echo.
like Scorpion
Yeah,
does
one
his
could be
like
an Echo.
teleport move in, you know, and you could like do a freeze and a get over here combo.
Oh, you mean actually actively toggling
like
them
they
between
play,
them?
yeah, you play as both of them at once.
I mean, it'd be a cool concept.
yeah.
I mean, and it fits in with like trying to like honor as much of the series and like characters and mechanics through just one fighter. I don't know if that would actually happen though.
Going
either.
along with the idea of putting too many things from one franchise in there, Alucard could be a good guess.
Very good guess.
I was so hoping Alucard was going to end up in there somehow originally when they were announcing all those like the Belmont.
What about
stuff,
just?
Victoria, I was like, oh, Alucard, please do.
What about straight up Dracula?
Dude.
You fight Dracula in there, so Dracula is a villain, one of the boss fights, but that's in there.
James Sunderland
Yeah.
from Silent Hill 2.
There you go.
Tell me, who's your pick
Let's make this
for the
Silent Hill.
first one?
Oh, I mean, at this point, I don't have anything that like.
Cool.
I think
Can
would
I
be
have your
awesome.
pick then?
I'm just gonna say, be careful again. There's persons out there said like the person who called Byleth 2 months ago, who is an insider and stuff, has called that Crash Bandicoot is definitely the next one, and I'm like,
That's a good guess.
Possible,
That's a
but
great
like
guess.
I'm not taking that as truth or anything like that. I mean, Dante obviously could fit in there as well, but Dante also opens up. I'd love to see Dante, but it's the same thing. Is Kamiya cool with Bayonetta crossing with Dante and stuff? Like they obviously Sakurai respects these creators so much. Sakurai would definitely clear that first.
Yeah.
And then if it's cool. Sakurai probably had a list of characters they really wanted to go after. Probably to go through Nintendo first saying, red flag or something. After that, then probably had to approach any third-party options that made it and be like, "Do you interested in this?"
Disney, are you interested in Sora guest starring?
So here's the
in
problem with
Super
Sora.
Smash Bros?
I know you love Sora. I've heard so many people say Sora.
Sora.
I think Sora is just too tied up with Kingdom Hearts and Disney's involvement.
up?
I think it's a nightmare. I think there will be something that happens to that licensing that will prevent it from ever happening. Because I think it would have happened if it was going to happen already, in my opinion. I also think Gino is another one that would have happened if it was going to happen already.
The one lesson I think that they should take to heart from all this is start with a good one, end with a good one. The first one should be a banger, and the last one needs to be a banger.
That's kind of a good
Throw
point,
the Dragon
Ian.
Quests and the Fire Emblems and the Pokemons and the whatever in the middle.
I think
You
Byleth
know?
being the last one
Violet
might have
being
also
last was
contributed
bad.
to that.
It should have been Banjo-Kazooie
From a marketing
last.
standpoint, that was I don't know.
Joker first, Banjo last.
They could
I
have
think
swapped.
they were just capitalizing on the currentness.
Sure.
They could have made it, if possible, making it the fourth fighter,
would've
which
been
would have
even
been
better.
after Fire
True.
Three Houses still,
Yeah.
would have worked in any one of the other ones as the fifth would have probably been more
and it would have been
exciting.
way more obviously a crossover. You know?
Then it's like even more.
Then it'd be like, oh, okay, we get it. It makes sense. Like,
You're
I'm a
right.
little disappointed, but it makes sense. It's an ad. Got it.
Yeah, that would have gone.
And
over
then
so much
Banjo
smoother.
happens last, and everyone's like, Banjo! You know?
Totally. And then it's all just eyes on Fighter Pack
So,
2.
like, don't do a first party one
Yeah.
first or last.
Would be my advice.
Would be my advice.
Dante would be pretty hype for me, honestly.
Dante would be
and just for like the sake of I believe it when I see it, Master Chief.
yeah,
Just having everyone going to say, "Oh, Banjo was already your Microsoft," like a specifically Microsoft
Chief.
exclusive historically character, the most iconic character over there, showing up in here. I know we talked about Sony as well. Maybe making that like that'd be the dream, Huber. It's like
I know.
Master Chief
And
and
Kratos.
or something.
and it's
somehow.
done.
Yeah.
And
Put
it's
a
like-
pin in it, man.
like
We
whole
got it all.
unity.
It's like the
Yeah.
celebration of games
Harmony.
is complete.
Yes.
In the video game industry.
All the
at
guests
last.
have arrived.
It'd be so
Thank you,
perfect.
Saint Keeley.
Because like new Kratos too would just fit
yeah.
well
It'd be
and
perfect. It would be
he'd fit in
perfect.
the game for sure.
We were talking about, I can't remember, was it you or me and Ben talking about the mechanics of the Leviathan axe, how you could throw it and leave it at will and then call it back when you wanted to?
Yes.
Mechanically, that would be so cool.
really cool stuff.
And
to
just
do
like
with
yeah,
that.
because then your forward A could be like an axe hit or really strong, or if it's over there, then you punch.
Yeah.
for sure.
It'd be really fun.
Want to wrap up the Smash discussion with one last question from Chris about whether Nintendo will do the unthinkable, but it's possible. With Sakurai's well-known obsession with Fire Emblem, is it possible that he will get another character within this Volume 2 Fighter Pass? Since he gets early looks at all the Fire Emblem games. So possibly from an upcoming remake or new entry. So basically, do you think if there's another... will Sakurai dare to put another Fire Emblem character in
I mean,
there?
I don't know anything about Fire Emblem, dude. I don't know how many games there are. I don't know what characters are even represented in Ultimate. Like, I don't know who they've left out. I don't know if there is some like Sephiroth character out there that has not been in it.
I think they're mostly speaking to like future, like if they
That
have
would
another
be cool.
release or something.
That would be really cool because that too, I think, is a really cool tie-in announcement. If it's like, hey, the first place that you can play this brand new character in the next Fire Emblem is Super
Oh
Smash.
yeah, like Noctis is a fighter and whatever it was, I forget. He was playable. Oh no. That was a song from 15 was in theater before 15 came out. Sorry.
And then was the like Assassin's Creed Final Fantasy event before 15? Or
I don't remember. But anyway, yeah.
I think they're probably at saturation on Fire Emblem for now, but if they were to do it, I think the way they should do it is sort of like how they did the Dragon Quest thing, where it's not one character but like 12 at one time as like one thing, and maybe each costume, or I don't know how they do it, but like maybe each costume uses a different weapon. Like so, one guy's a spear, one guy's an axe, one guy's bow and arrow, one guy's sword, whatever. But like that would be a way to do it without like making people mad. Is if it's like, hey, we know there are a lot of Fire Emblem characters, but guess what? Now there are 30 more. Like, the entire cast of Three Houses is now a character.
I was kind of hoping that's what was going to happen with the Fire Emblem Three Houses announcement, that it might be like the three, it would be Edelgard, Dimitri, and Claude. And it'd be Pokemon Trader style, where you're like, somehow they can like swap out, and in like their...
It would make sense if Byleth like called them in and like gave them orders and stuff, but yeah.
I was like, oh, this might be awesome. But yeah, something like that
I think that would be the smartest way to do more Fire Emblem if you had to do more Fire Emblem. I don't think they will.
I don't think we're going to get another Fire Emblem character in this next one. Maybe in the future, obviously, yes. But
do you think they'll do more Fighter Passes after 2?
I think it depends on the situation with the Switch at that point. Switch is still going strong.
Sakurai's feeling.
Yeah.
If people bully him too much, he'll just quit, and then we won't get anything.
I feel like they want to support this game for a very, very long time, but obviously, like, it can't go on forever, probably.
I could see there being like this 6 and maybe one more batch of 5.
Yeah.
I bet it goes to a third.
Yeah.
And that'll probably be the end. Yeah.
So a lot more to come, man. Still excited.
Yeah, there's a lot more to come.
So excited.
Plus, I mean, this 6 is going to take almost 2 years.
We got 2 more years of Smash Brothers predictions.
Awesome.
Just
my favorite thing.
Oh, good stuff. Let's move on from Smash Brothers and Fire Emblem real quick. Our final segment, Patron Q&A. These are questions submitted by our patrons who are $5 and up. If you'd like to submit a question for consideration for Friend Code, the week we are recording, I will make a post calling for your submissions. They just going to be related. They can be related to the topics we're talking about. I'll let you know who's on the panel, what we'll be talking about, or they can just be general Nintendo questions and just whatever you feel like that's Nintendo related. And these are what these final few questions are, just Nintendo questions. And this first one comes from Bun. I feel like it's directed at Huber. How would you feel about a Resident Evil Classic Collection featuring Director's Cut 2 and 3 included? What special features could they have? Would the randomizer mode be a cool feature to reintroduce? I would love to know what you think.
So are we talking like an HD remaster collection?
I don't know. They just said classic collection. So what would you want, Huber?
Yeah. So if we did it like I remember at one point there was a really cool Metal Gear anthology, right? Somewhere in there.
HD collection?
No.
Are you talking about the?
There was like a legit Metal Gear.
Oh, that old one. Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Rich had one at Game Trailer.
I think so. Yeah. It was like a special.
I know what it is. It was in the back. It was massive.
It was a special thing. So if you did it, I would like to see 1 through 3 together. I think that's really cool. Because like Code Veronica and 4, that's when you're kind of like, that's when it's getting away from it.
What about the director's cut?
Yeah, version? So you have 1 through 3, and I would want all the versions.
Okay.
So 1, you would have PS1, director's cut. 2, you would have original N64 version, remake, and then same with 3, having all the versions, PS1. Yeah, because there's like a Resident Evil 2 N64 version that's really sweet. But if I were to do it, I would blow it up, and I would have all the versions. I'd have it. There'd be like a main menu where you could go into each of them, but then also on that menu, you'd have like behind the scenes, concept art, blow it up. Celebrate this trilogy with the original and the remakes of each, because how cool would that be?
Yeah.
You could have these such cool featurettes of like, yo, here's Resident Evil 1, here's the remake, here's Resident Evil 2, here's like all these side by sides and developer diaries. It'd be really fascinating. You could really blow it up and like guide us through the process of a remake, you know? Because remakes are fascinating.
Yeah, I think they asked this specifically because 4 onward, besides 7, was coming to Switch. 4, 5, 6 coming to Switch.
Got it.
But we're not getting and in remake, GameCube remake came out as well. But no, and 0, sorry. Quite a few, but like the original ones have not come out on Switch, and I know people want to play the original versions. Also, RE2 remake and RE7. I don't think are quite. I mean, they could obviously be downscaled, but Capcom's not doing that.
7 streams, right, in Japan?
And I think it was a limited time thing. I think it's not going on anymore.
Okay.
So there is no. I don't think they have any plans for those. But like specifically, would you be okay with just like the original, all versions of the originals,
100%
being in the collection, and then the randomizer thing? Have you ever messed with like item randomizer?
Yeah, randomizers are cool. I like it. I like randomizers, but at the same time, I don't. I like the rhythm of like perfecting your run and kind of mapping everything out. Oh, okay, I forget where this is. Oh, I gotta go grab it this way. I like kind of.
I love watching people do randomizers. Like I love watching speedrunners do randomizers. Yeah. It's so much fun.
Resident Evil, the one of Resident Evil actually include a randomizer?
One of them does. It might be the N64 version.
Okay.
There is one.
Cool.
I know.
It sounded like they were alluding this is an official thing, and I was like, oh, which one did
One
this?
of them for sure does. I'm pretty sure it's N64 for Resident Evil 2.
Ooh.
Pretty sure.
Another reason that version's so
correct me if I'm
valuable.
wrong on that.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, don't mess around too much with the randomizers.
All right. Next question really comes from...
It'd be cool if Remake 3 had one, though. Throwing that out there.
Oh, yeah.
Because you can only be, like, it's only the one campaign.
Yeah,
so it'd be cool if then they had it would make a lot of sense.
It would make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
This next one comes from Gand Heezy. There's a very powerful Nintendo franchise that has been dormant for a long time that we keep forgetting to talk about. When is Nintendogs coming back? I think that Nintendogs could actually be a wonderful mobile title and wouldn't really need to have a Switch version. Thoughts, love, and respect. So I just want to say that there's a game for Switch that came out last year called Little Friends, Dogs and Cats, which is being touted as like the replacement for your Nintendogs fix. Nintendogs and Cats, basically.
Third party, though.
Yes, third party. But from the reviews, they said it's basically the same game. It doesn't offer anything new whatsoever, so it's pretty much the same old experience. And they criticized that it went overboard, like a little too overboard in some areas, like a little too much, like there's something about like customization with outfits or something, like too many outfits for your dogs and cats. Like it focuses too much on that versus like they could have spent that effort on like newer things to do. So it's too samey. Like it doesn't like the fact you expect some kind of innovative new thing from like a real Nintendogs and Cats. But I just want to point out there is a game out there that is just like it that you can go get right now if you want. But yeah, Brain Training came back recently on Switch as well. So I'd say never say never.
Never say never.
Yeah. I think it's more likely to come back than like a Wave Race or an F-Zero. Sadly.
More likely than Wave Race?
Is that a troll or
Sadly. That's not a troll.
Wave Race!
They never get...
Wave Race is going to return in some capacity, all right?
I really hope, Eber.
Just hold on tight.
There was that cat game. I don't remember the name of it.
Cat Quest?
No, on phones where it's like you raise a bunch of cats.
That sounds cool.
I think it was Japanese, but it came over.
I played the one where you knock everything over as a cat.
Catastrophe.
It was pretty accurate. I liked it. Authentic.
Yeah, I'd like that to return that franchise. I think you could do some cool things on Switch.
I think it was a big phenomenon on DS, and you know.
But also, it's funny that game specifically. I think it's okay for franchises to be time-based or like era-based. That was the touchpad 3DS
It existed in the time, and now it's...
So it doesn't necessarily need to live on unless they really like...
I'd rather have the next Nintendo.
Yeah.
Like the thing that will fill that niche but be a new idea.
Exactly. Or if they could find a way to make it interesting with Switch somehow.
Yeah.
And they also said like it doesn't even have to be on Switch. Like one of their mobile efforts, like just put a Nintendogs Cats on phone or something like that as well. But,
I just wouldn't want them to shit it out, as you like to say sometimes.
Puke it out.
Puke it out. Yeah, I wouldn't want them to puke it out.
Okay.
Only go back if you really like. If you have something to say about dogs and cats, Nintendo.
You got something to say?
Yeah.
Make a Nintendo.
Say it now.
Because the first one said so much.
So what? The question is, dogs or cats?
A cat is not a dog.
I love
This is a cat dog. All right.
Take that, Judy
Beth
Dench.
always calls me a dog, and she's a cat. That's how we roll.
Yeah.
It's all right. Those are our moods.
That's
I was gonna say you're not a cat at all.
No.
You're not a cat.
Not at all. Next one comes from Michael. Are you excited for the upcoming Animal Crossing New Horizons? As someone who has never touched any games in the series, I can't help but notice the Nintendo love and care being put into this game, and it gets me pretty excited. What is the panel's experience with the franchise? Love and respect from Philadelphia.
I played the phone one, and I know that story that makes me really sad to think about that guy's mom. And I liked the phone one. I set myself a goal of doing the treehouse. I did it, and then I stopped playing.
Congrats.
I didn't delete it, though, because maybe the new one will interface with it somehow. Who knows?
Smart.
But
Good move.
Yeah.
Veteran move.
Yeah.
Veteran move.
I thought
right
it through.
There.
I thought it through. I turned off notifications, and I haven't started it up since.
It's like some seasonal item thing. I think that's gonna carry that you could share, but like otherwise they're not actually gonna. I think they said they're not gonna have connectivity.
Oh, okay.
Which who knows?
Whatever.
They can change their mind. You know,
Yeah, they can
it's not
add
out
it.
yet. It's not out yet. Let's not assume.
But yeah, the new one looks cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try it out for sure.
Yeah,
What
I
about
played
you, Huber?
the original. And I'm excited about the new one. I'm excited based on your excitement, as in the allies. You know, if the allies watching are really hyped on it when it comes out, if Ben is walking through the halls talking about like digging some treasure up, you know, if everyone has their switches around,
Yeah.
100% I'm in.
You can trade apparently.
But if it comes out and like one or two of you are playing, you know, I don't know if that's going to be enough because like we were talking about it recently. Bloodworth brought up just how different gaming is today and how much of a part that plays into Animal Crossing. Like the gimmick of Animal Crossing of like, wow, Brad had it at his house. So I would go over to his house and interact with Animal Crossing, you know,
Right.
whereas now it's like online and all that. So it's just like a different vibe of feeling.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm really excited. I can't wait, but I definitely gotta gauge how everyone is feeling on it before I'm ready to commit.
I get that too. Also, not even just like the change of that style, but like thinking back again to Game Trailers days, like when it was the popular system was the 3DS and DS, like taking the system out and stuff. So like any of the like trading, swapping, connecting stuff was like everyone was doing. You saw everyone in office playing certain things and stuff, and it caught up. And like whereas here, it's like at your point, like only even 2 or 3 of us. It's still like a chunk of us, but like it's not as like prevalent, I think, you know, in your face. And
I
like
think most of us
caught
are
up in
gonna
it.
pick it up.
I think
I have
so
a
too.
feeling it's gonna be.
It might be a 7, 8. I don't know if it'll be an all 9 game. Those
Yeah.
are rare.
Sure,
Those
like,
are rare. The Holy Grail
I have a
moments like
feeling At least
Bloodborne.
half of us will be playing
Bloodborne
it
Witcher.
that
That's
week.
why they were so crazy.
Yeah.
Because like everyone got both.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm in the same boat as you, Huber. I'll play it while other people are playing it. Probably. I'm not the biggest. Animal Crossing doesn't speak to me as much as it did when I first tried it out. My curiosity for it was probably at its peak when I was waiting for the DS version. And it was also a time when they were touting online for it. The first one, like not only first online Animal Crossing, but also one of the first online Nintendo games for DS, and like the reveal of their new online service and stuff. Like it's free and everything. Like the sky's the limit. All the Mario Karts could also, you know, like, oh my gosh, this is going to be so good.
Yeah.
This is amazing and stuff. And like loved it for a month. And I'm like, I think I played enough of this.
Yeah.
I don't need to keep it up.
It's also hard too because I think there is such a strength of it being portable. Like that's really awesome. You know, it seems so made for that. But I live in LA, so the only gaming I ever do is either in this building or at my house.
Right.
So it's like,
Because
Yeah.
we drive everywhere.
yeah.
Just need those
So again,
autonomous
it's
cars.
if you all have yours around, then I'm definitely getting it.
The main thing I worry about is games that are based on time, like actual real life time, really stress me right out.
If this is like your morning, brush your teeth,
Right.
check your house.
Check your house. Yeah. Like, oh, check
Yeah.
what bells, like mow the grass or whatever. Like, I don't know. I don't really know how advanced these games get.
It's a
but-
running thing with it. Even they're even self-aware of it that like you can change the system's clock to abuse that, and you'll get like called out in it for stuff. But like if you play it faithfully, yes, that stuff is in there.
Yeah.
You know,
So
I don't think as rigid as
like I got
that,
stressed
but
out by Persona 5, and that doesn't even keep running when I'm not playing it.
Yeah, this keeps running while you're not playing. Yeah.
Sorry about my runny nose, by the way.
Oh.
It got like bad during.
I feel like
No
Persona
worries.
5 though locks you into stuff. If you choose to do something, you don't do that. Whereas this, I think, it'll be kind to you. You know,
Yeah.
go at your own pace.
It's a pretty chill game.
Yeah.
I don't think it's...
But I don't want to like boot it up, 5 years from now to see like all my animals dead on the ground because I like
I think you'll have
neglected
some
them.
cobwebs.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You might have some people who moved away,
Okay.
but hey.
That's really intense, dude.
Yeah.
Time capsule Animal Crossing.
Yo, we should all go find it. Like, I should find my DS version. I don't think it's
Yeah.
But,
Unearth
like,
that.
bring
Oh
in
my
your,
god,
like-
that would be a fun
Well, didn't
video.
Jones kind of
dude.
do that when on Easy Living, bringing Animal Crossing or something?
I don't know. That sounds
If not,
fun.
it sounds like a
Sounds
stream
good. That's
idea
a good
for
idea,
sure.
Yeah, bring in the oldest
The
Animal
oldest
Crossing
known
we have.
Animal
yeah.
Crossing that like works, and
I wonder, dude,
we'll see.
And we could stream.
I could see Blood having a GameCube memory card lying around with
Oh, I'm
something.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I bet it would be Blood.
Does the game just calculate the time that passed between when you last played and now, and then
So it reads
change
the
based
system
on that?
time, and then like as soon as it reads the time, it like does
Loads
as
up.
it's loading, it loads in like
Okay,
the things
okay,
that
okay.
have changed. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's not like it's connected like
Right,
wirelessly
right.
connected
It's
to
not
a server.
thinking constantly. Yeah.
Um,
Obviously.
Last question from Andrew. This month we've had a Pokemon Direct and a Smash Direct. Excuse me. Seeing as that is two major properties for Nintendo, what do you think will be in the next Direct? Or do you think... Basically, this question, it feels like alluding to, we had a Pokemon Direct, we had a Smash Direct. There has to be another Direct, right? And if so, what will that Direct be? Will it be specific to a series or will it be a big Direct?
It's gonna be Zelda. It's gonna be Mario. It's gonna be Metroid. It's gonna be F-Zero. It's gonna be Wave Race. It's gonna be, I don't know,
Cooking Mama.
Cooking Mama. It's gonna
Cross
be
It's
Nintendo.
gonna be
Dogs.
all of your dreams
Cooking
and
Mama
more.
cross Nintendo.
It's gonna be all the Smash Brothers characters revealed all at once too, all 6 of them.
I think
the
there's
uncensored
gonna
version of Tokyo Mirage Sessions Sharp FE. Even skimpier than before.
be director's cut.
Director's
With
cut.
the,
They're all just naked
the original
now.
version of the dungeon that got changed as well. That's I think the thing that makes everyone the angriest.
They're putting dungeons back into
They're putting the sexy
Twilight
dungeons
Princess,
back in.
Or
What's it
Breath
called
of the
in
Wild.
Japan? It's I forget the term for it. It's where someone wants to like look sexy, but it's not supposed to have anything with sexualization, like being actual sex or something.
What?
There's
What?
there's a term for it. I don't know, but that's the theme of the dungeon that got like
In
changed
what?
in Tokyo Mirage Sessions.
Oh,
Yeah.
so they're like asexual or something?
No, like so they're wearing like lingerie or something like sexy, like like objectifying clothing, and now it's like something about like totally different theme and stuff, and it's like friendship or something. I don't know what it is now. I haven't played it.
Completely different.
Yeah, I forgot already. But it's like not that.
donuts.
You don't get to see scantily clad women anymore. That's what was like the whole brouhaha about that.
I got news for you: the internet. You can see whatever you want on that
I'm like-
damn thing.
I was about to say you probably could Google those characters. No,
Yeah.
don't please stop.
I think
Do what
there's-
you want.
I think there's gonna be one direct before the E3 one, and it'll kind of be setting it up. And I think the next one will be Zelda. This coming one. The next time we have a Nintendo Direct,
Oh, okay.
They'll save that for E3.
it'll be later.
They'll save that for E3.
I think you're gonna save Mario in them because they've already
I don't
shown
think we're gonna
Zelda.
get Mario and Zelda in the same damn year.
I do.
I don't wanna-
Damiani's made me believe it.
I
So-
think we would get a Metroid check-in, maybe. I mean, the next one will be Nindies, probably. It'll just be Nindies and like
There is
then
a-
the Metroid check-in or something.
Okay. I think a Zelda check-in
Before
though,
E3.
because they've already
Maybe a
shown
small
it.
Zelda check-in, like a
Yeah.
trailer,
Yeah, that's what I
but
mean.
it won't be big. It won't be like an all-out one thing.
But a
direct.
Zelda trailer is big. Ian.
Oh, it is huge. That's the
It's
hugest.
biggest.
I thought you meant like an all-out direct about a Zelda, and I'm like, way too soon. Way too soon.
I think a classic direct in,
Oh,
that,
sure.
in the sense
And then
with a Zelda trailer.
yeah, a
And
Metroid as that you think is the end, and then one more thing with a little bit of taste of Zelda, showing
Yes.
like playing a Zelda in a dungeon, and then we all cry.
Yes. More,
and then
more to
they
come at
also
E3.
say one more thing: Dante's in Smash.
Are we dead wrong, Damian?
Cautionary tale. A lot of people like to point out the past patterns being evidence that something's going to happen does not hold true with Nintendo. Just because, last 2 years there was a Pokemon Direct and then a Smash Direct, or last year a Smash Direct and then a Pokemon Direct, and within a week after, we had a big Direct. It might happen next week. It didn't happen this week. This is the week after. It's not this week. It might be next week. It might be next month. It might be before E3.
Yep.
The thing is, don't
hold
just
your breath.
Don't assume it's happening because it happened before this way. Don't just be careful.
The only safe things to assume in video games is that you will always be disappointed.
Yeah.
Always go into a direct thinking it's going to be bad. Because then you'll have fun no matter what happens.
I'm on that.
Be pleasantly
right?
surprised when they're actually announced.
I'm on that same thought, except I always hope there's going to be one. That's always my dream.
Okay.
I go into every
one big thing.
One big. That's all.
I always hope for one big thing too.
One thing.
Yeah.
Just one.
I mean, I will say, they for the longest time they've had one generally in the first half of the year and the second half of the year, and then E3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's been their. If you're going to look at something that has a little bit more data, yes, they do follow that pattern pretty closely.
Data, dude.
Data shout out.
Data shout out. Analytics. Shout out to analytics. Industry trends.
Who watches data?
I think we're done here. But yeah, hopefully there is a direct that happens sooner than later, so we have a lot of cool news to talk about next time.
Do you think we will see Zelda before E3 Damiani? Yay or nay?
I think so.
Me too.
I think we'll see something. Don't know if it's a trailer, but we'll probably see something related to the sequel.
Zelda running on a wall while throwing a dagger into a skeletal skull.
A skeletal skull. Okay.
Not a fleshy skull.
Skeletal skull.
A bear skull.
Like a skeletal warrior.
A Staphos. That's what they call it.
Yeah, and she's running on the wall and she throws a dagger.
That'd be neat.
And then it blows up. Dude, kunai.
So it's exploding kunai.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. And then she reveals herself to be part of the Yiga clan.
And she comes out and she goes,
Magical
and her
butterflies
eye
throw
turns
it.
red.
Oh my god.
And
If you play a Zelda and she's bad, oh my god.
And you realize the whole first trailer was a genjutsu. None of it was real.
Cease this,
and
I'm
they,
dying.
And they pull back the
Cease
curtain
this.
and you see the real version of the trailer. Okay, we're done here. Thank you, everyone, for submitting your questions for consideration for this episode of Friend Code. Also, we have some shout-outs for the month of January 2020. Shout out to El Thanis, Greg the Dark Knight Kettering, Caleb Togi Crawford, Will Schmuck, and Mr. One Luigi. Shout out! And thank you very much to the two of you for coming in on. I think it's been 2 weeks in a row we haven't recorded Friend Code on the day it's supposed to have been recorded. But hey, we had not Game Awards, our Game of the Year Awards debate yesterday as
For
well.
12 hours.
Yeah, so we had to push
12
this
hours.
a little later. That's why this is coming to you a little later than usual. So thank you
It's
for
been a
joining
pleasure.
me.
It has been, actually. It always is.
I'm glad to hear that. And until next time, may the way of the hero lead to the Triforce.